Imagine spending hours carefully measuring your project, only to discover that your joints don't line up, your cuts are slightly off, and nothing fits together the way you planned. Most people blame the saw. But experienced woodworkers know the real mistake usually happens much earlier, during marking. A precise cut starts with a precise line. Today, we're looking at the most popular woodworking marking tools to find out which ones actually improve accuracy, and which ones are just taking up space in your toolbox. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which marking tools are worth buying for your workshop. Let's get started. The simplest marking tool is the carpenter's pencil. Almost every woodworker owns one. It's inexpensive, easy to sharpen, and works well on rough lumber. However, its thick lead creates wide lines. When you're building fine furniture or cutting precise joinery, that extra thickness can introduce small errors. Those tiny errors quickly add up throughout an entire project. That's why many experienced woodworkers switch to mechanical carpenter pencils. Unlike traditional pencils, they maintain a consistent point. The lead doesn't require sharpening, and produces much thinner, cleaner layout lines. Many also include built-in sharpeners and stronger lead designed specifically for woodworking. For general workshop use, they're a significant upgrade. Next, the marking knife. This is one of the most accurate layout tools available. Instead of drawing a thick graphite line, a marking knife scores the wood fibers directly. The result is an incredibly thin reference line that remains visible even after sanding. There's another advantage. When a saw blade follows a knife line, the scored fibers reduce tear out, producing cleaner cuts. For joinery such as dovetails, mortise and tenon joints, and box joints, a marking knife is often the preferred choice. Now let's look at the marking gauge. A marking gauge creates perfectly parallel lines along the edge of a board. This is especially useful when laying out mortises, grooves, rabbets, or shoulder lines. Rather than measuring repeatedly, the gauge locks onto one dimension and repeats it consistently across multiple workpieces. This greatly improves both speed and accuracy. Some marking gauges use a steel pin. Others use a small cutting wheel. Wheel-style marking gauges generally leave cleaner lines while reducing grain tear out. Another important tool is the mortise gauge. At first glance, it looks similar to a standard marking gauge. The difference is that it contains two adjustable marking points instead of one. This allows both sides of a mortise to be marked simultaneously. If you regularly build furniture using traditional joinery, a mortise gauge saves considerable time while improving consistency. Let's talk about the marking awl. Unlike pencils or knives, an awl creates a tiny indentation in the wood. This small hole becomes the perfect starting point for drill bits, preventing them from wandering during drilling. An awl is also useful for transferring measurements and marking layout points where pencils may be difficult to see. Now we come to the sliding bevel. This adjustable tool allows any angle to be copied and transferred accurately. Whether you're building angled table legs, roof structures, or custom furniture, a sliding bevel eliminates guesswork. Once locked, the angle remains consistent while being transferred to multiple pieces. Another tool many woodworkers overlook is the combination square. Although often considered a measuring tool, it's also one of the best marking tools available. It quickly creates perfectly square 90-degree lines, 45-degree reference marks, parallel layout lines, and depth measurements. Because of its versatility, many professionals keep a combination square within reach throughout every project. Accuracy matters with every marking tool. Cheap tools often develop loose adjustments, worn edges, or inaccurate reference surfaces. Even a small error during layout can become much larger after cutting and assembly. That's why investing in reliable marking tools often improves overall project quality far more than upgrading expensive power tools. Ease of use is equally important. Comfortable handles, clear measurement scales, smooth adjustments, and durable materials all contribute to faster, more accurate work. Good marking tools don't just improve precision. They also reduce frustration. So, which marking tools should every woodworker own? If you're just getting started, a mechanical carpenter pencil and a quality combination square provide excellent value. As your skills develop, adding a marking knife and a wheel marking gauge dramatically increases layout accuracy. For traditional joinery, a mortise gauge becomes one of the most valuable tools in the workshop. At the end of the day, perfect woodworking doesn't begin with the saw. It begins with an accurate line. Because once the layout is correct, every step that follows becomes easier. Now I'd like to hear from you. Which marking tool do you use the most in your workshop? A carpenter's pencil, marking knife, marking gauge, or something else? Share your favorite in the comments below. If you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to subscribe for more woodworking buying guides, tool comparisons, workshop upgrades, and practical tips to help you build smarter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.